Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. I hope everybody's doing good, man. I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody's in good spirits. I hope everybody is um being positive, um vibrating high, um not being negative. Um it's not a time to draw anything negative to yourself. Um I was told that karma karma and dharma are like two different things. Now, some people are going through certain things now, and you ask yourself, is it karma or is it dharma? I'm not going to define it for you. I would suggest you look it up. Right? There is karma, and then there is dharma. Right? All the things that are happening right now. I try not to get too caught up with some of the stuff going on because I know that we do live in this artificial intelligence world. Um, we do live in a lot of this, what they call deep fakes. A lot of stuff is fake. A lot of stuff is not real. Um, there is this false perception with this whole Mandela effect stuff, um, where certain things you remember, say as a child or as a kid, it's not the same and it's different. Has been changed, right? And it's been said that it's a possibility that these multidimensional beings that manipulate us as a society, as humans, as man, um, as people on in this realm. I can call it a realm now. This realm that they've been traveling through time to change things to manipulate us. I'm going to give you one example that I'm not sure a lot of people might understand, or probably share the knowledge. When I was in school, um, instance is just an example. The state of the state of the capital for the state of Georgia, to my knowledge, was always Augusta. But then a few years back, I would say they said that it was Atlanta. But I was always, I don't know, I had the knowledge that it was Augusta, that was the capital of Georgia. But I don't know. Then you have the most common one was the Beerstein's Bears. Um, I used to watch that cartoon as a kid, and I had the what do you call the VHS cassettes, right? The tapes. So when that conspiracy came out, I was like, this is not real. That's when I realized that the people that control the media were gaslighting us. They were manipulating us, right? The whole Mandela effect stuff is not real. I'm gonna go back to that the saying that a lot of people know, all right? The devil is a liar, right? We've been lied to about a lot of stuff, right? We've been lied to about a lot of stuff. When the truth comes out about stuff, we will hear about it 5, 10, 20 years later in a documentary, right? And it's usually when these let's just say, for instance, the people that would be responsible, i.e. the political leaders, they're probably very, very old at that point, or they have passed away already for anybody to prosecute or anybody to say, pursue justice in regards to that. Keep in mind, all the things that are happening, um, there are some mistakes, but I don't think we should go around blaming anybody either, because we know what is happening. Keep in mind, a lot of things is based or surrounded around money. All right. I wanted to do this whole thing about money. Maybe one day when I really feel inspired, I'll talk about um, the whole thing with money and how money is just a big manipulation. Maybe one day I'll do it. I'm not. I don't really want to go into it now. But a lot of things are surrounded around money, right? The need and the control for money, right? And then it plays on your greed, right? What's in your heart, right? Yeah, like I said, people have sold people out over money. All right, people will sell you out over money. But we're in a quote unquote money system, so everything is surrounded around money. So when certain things happen, um, money is always an issue. You see, i.e., when disasters happen, um, it's naturally an insurance thing, right? So then that means you have to make new purchases on new things. This is what keeps the quote unquote system going, right? Because if everything was meant to last for a long period of time, businesses would go stagnant. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Businesses would go stagnant if things were built to last. For instance, if you had a car that was built to last for, say, I don't know, a long, long time, the car business would slow up, right? It wouldn't be quote unquote profitable. If houses were built to last, the housing market or building of homes wouldn't be profitable, right? Um, Storms and natural disasters, things that happen. Um, this brings in, I hate to say it, this brings in money for businesses, right? In regards to rebuilding, purchasing things, i.e. furniture, televisions, vehicles, clothes, whatever the case may be. This is about business. I'm not trying to be mean or insensitive. I hope people could understand what I'm saying without me saying it, right? We know that the weather is manipulated. We don't have to lie to ourselves. None of us that are living, that are hardworking people, right, that live normal lives, are flying planes spraying chemicals into the sky. I don't think we have time to do stuff like that. Like, you worrying about your bills, you worrying about your kids, um, you worrying about putting food on the table, you worrying about your job, getting promoted, getting a raise, um, to afford the cost of living that is constantly going up, right? I don't think you have time to spray chemicals into the sky. And then we don't know the effects, the adverse effects that those chemicals are having on us as a population, and what effects it is having on the atmosphere. All right, but then we don't get to ask questions as to why chemicals are being sprayed on us every day, right? But there is conspiracy theories, that there's a system called HARP that is manipulating the weather, right? And things are happening, folks. So then, does these things play on your religious beliefs? Oh my God, uh, uh, the Most High, the Heavenly Father above, is punishing us. That's why these storms are happening, and that's why this is happening and that is happening. Possibly, all right? But then keep in mind, the weather is manipulated as well, all right? And then, like I said, it is not until years later you will hear that the responsible parties, that should be held accountable, are either are too old to pursue any justice, or they have long passed away. right? And this is I hate to say it, in a cosmic way, in a cosmic way, we are not supposed to be lied to. I think that we're supposed to, let's just say it's cosmic law for these low vibrating entities or these Nephilim, fallen angels, whatever you want to call them, aliens. They have to tell us what they have done, what they're doing, and what they plan on doing. Let's just say by cosmic law, they have to do that, right? That's why they can do things and then laugh in your face. They can show you the truth in a movie, right? And then tell you that it's science fiction. I just watched a few movies. I thought was pretty interesting today. I've been getting into this retro thing. I've been watching like movies from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and I watched Apex. It's a kind of like a knockoff off of the Terminator, but it's very very telling because it too was trying to show a time paradox, right? By traveling through time, the gentleman in the movie, if you get a chance to see it, check it out. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of, like I said, it's a B grade movie, and it is, I think it was filmed, I think it was filmed in the 90s, but it's kind of like a knockoff of the Terminator story. Um, but the story, the plot is very, very interesting, right? If you think about it metaphysically, right? And how paradoxes can um, be created through time travel, right? And that's what I kind of started off by saying. But the whole Mandela effect, like I said, I think that we're being played when it comes to this whole Mandela effect. These people are laughing at us. They control everything. They control the media. I just looked at a video and where they were showing the the quote unquote satellites of lands, quote unquote, in this realm, and you can see that things are digitally removed, so that there are probably a whole bunch of secret islands and lands that we don't even know about, and we're not allowed to even see. How often have you, when you're taking a long flight, have you like looked outside in the plane? Like if you're on a plane, have you actually looked and be like, man, where are we right now? And you see um, certain things. You see certain lands. Sometimes you probably see things you're not supposed to see. But most of the time, people are on their phones. They're watching a movie. They're asleep. Right? They're not looking out. They're not gazing out the window at hours at a time, especially on long flights. They tell you to close the blinds and whatever the case may be. Um, but you never know what you actually see, depending on how high you are. Let me not be delusional. Depending on how high you are, right, in the air. But sometimes if you're descending, you see some things that you'd be surprised to see. You'd be like, is that an island over there? What is that island? What island is that? Right? And then keep in mind the quote unquote oceans, the waters are fluctuating right now. So there could be lands that are being exposed by the waters that were never exposed before. I.e., you have your quote unquote 7,000 islands off of Japan that they just discovered, which to me, once again, is a lie. Right? Not a lie that it doesn't exist, but a lie that they just discovered it. They found these places a long time ago. They just don't talk about it. Right? You're in a controlled environment. You're in a controlled realm where they don't want you to know certain things. Listen, they don't want you to venture off too far. I just watched another movie that I thought was pretty good. It was called Kin. It was about a young kid, and he had the ability to control a device. It was a weapon, right? And he's the only one that could use it. But then it turns out that this kid was from a different world. He's from a different realm. I don't want to go over the whole movie, but in the end, he was being tracked by two people that was quote unquote his kind, right? and they said to him that there's a war, and they told him that he was brought to this world, to this reality, to this realm to protect him. And they had people that were trying to assassinate him. A kid now. They were people that came from the world that he's originally from to assassinate him in this realm, right? So they took the weapon from him, and they're like, "Listen, you're too young now. There's a war, but in time we'll come and get you." Hopefully they do a part two. I think the movie was very, very good. It was very interesting. There's a lot of big name actors in the movie. As much as I dislike Hollywood, I do like some of the movies that they do when they're telling us the truth and they're telling us certain things that's going on. But I'm still not a fan of Hollywood. I think Hollywood, for the most part, is very, very sketchy. I think a lot of things that go on behind closed doors is very, very sick and corrupt. There's a lot of people on drugs. There's a lot of people doing a lot of sick stuff. A lot of times, I don't even think a lot of these people are even human, but that's just my opinion because I don't see or hear too often of people saying that they've been to a restaurant and they've seen this celebrity eating food. Like they'd be like, I was at this restaurant and I seen such and such, and he was really eating that pizza or eating that steak or eating that French fries or whatever. Right? I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't think these people eat food. And then I wonder, what do they really consume? That's what makes me scared and concerned. The furthest place that I want to be is the West Coast. I'm going to be honest with you. California is not a state that I have any plans to visit or ever go to. I'm going to be honest with you. All right. Um, I don't think they put out the movie 2012 for a joke or to be funny. I think they put that movie out as a warning. All right. So yeah, California, no disrespect. I hope you people from California don't feel no type of way about what I'm saying. Um, but that's one state that I have no intentions of ever traveling to. I've only been to California once, and that was because when I was in the military, we did some training there. But I would never come to that state. No disrespect, because it's coming. Whatever they say, the big one, it's coming. All right. Let me be honest with y'all. And going back to what I said, a lot of things are being manipulated. You have to remember that this is a monetary system based on money. So when things get stagnant, um, the powers that be, your quote unquote elites, will shake things up just to keep businesses flowing. Right? Listen, folks, war is business. War is big money. Conflict is big money. I was homeless. I've shared my stories with you guys when I was homeless and I was going through the stuff that I was going through. Homelessness, when I learned about it, it's big money. It's profitable for some people, for some companies. It's big money. Drugs, drug addictions, that's big money. Pharma, pharmaceuticals, that is big money. When you hear me say that they feed off of your misery, your pain, your shortcomings, the things happening to you in life, I wasn't just talking about that metaphysically. I'm talking about that mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. Right? It's profitable for them. For you to be going through stuff, it's profitable. That's why I say that. Be real with you. Money's not a real thing because money is generated through misery and pain. Think about it right now. Somebody in your family that you're not really cool with, or somebody you're not really like trustworthy, would be approached to say do something or cause you some harm for some money. How many of you know family members right now be like that person would do it? They would accept this money to cause something to happen to me. Do you understand? Does it make sense to you? Is it clear? I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. This is why I have issues with the my life, and I try to keep to myself because we live in a very, very cold society. And I told you they feed off of your misery, pain, everything, right? And it's a big witchcraft. It's mind manipulation. It's all type of stuff, and they have, according to conspiracy parties, they have infiltrated every aspect of life: politics, religion, defense, everything you could think of in life. Every aspect of life, Nephilim, fallen angels, aliens have infiltrated and influenced. Media, Hollywood, sports, everything. They've infiltrated everything. They are everywhere. This is when I was in the military. I'm gonna tell you guys a full story. So I got a call from my ex-wife at the time, and she told me that our daughter was sick. My daughter at this time was very, very young. I think she was maybe three. She probably was. I think she was about 3 years old. Yeah, she was about three. She was about three, maybe three, going on 4 years old. And I guess she had like a stomach bug. So I went to go pick her up, and I brought her back home. But when I got her home, she was still showing symptoms of being sick. Like she actually threw up in the house. So I had to clean that up, get her like somewhat dressed. I think I threw a jacket on her. I can't remember what time if it was in the fall. I can't remember if it was in the fall or spring. I can't remember when it was. So threw a jacket on her, and I was heading back to post to bring her to the ER, to the hospital. Um, where we lived in, military housing, but we lived off post in a sense. We weren't on the base. We were a few miles away in a housing area for military. So I'm on my way to get back to post to get to the main hospital. There is a road. This is in North Carolina now. This is when I was stationed at Fort Bragg. So there's a road that leads to another gate. That would have been a faster access for me to get to the hospital instead of going say a few miles further down the road to get to the main gate. There was a side gate that I could get to because I was trying to get there quicker than possible, quick as possible, right? And this is what I hate to I have to go back to the terminology. A shortcut draws blood, and the long way or the long cut draws sweat. So in reality, I should have went through the main gate, but I was trying to take a shortcut to get there faster because I wanted to make sure my daughter was good. I was kind of concerned. I thought that she was really, really sick, right? Because we at the time we usually we didn't get calls about our kids getting sick. Like we weren't that type of, you know what I'm saying? We made sure our kids were in tip-top shape, health. So when our kids were sick, it was very, very rare. It wasn't an often thing, right? So I'm going down this road, and this road, for some reason, was some type of county line um, between where the base was and where I guess two different counties were um, in North Carolina, right? And this is outside of Fayetteville, right? Um, so I'm going down the road. There's two bars outside of this outside of the base at Fort Bragg. There's two bars. I think those two bars are probably closed now, but at the time they were two bars on opposite side of the road just before you get to the main, or you get to that gate. All right. So now I'm doing like probably 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour, because I think the speed limit was probably 40 miles an hour or something like that. Um, so there's a car coming out of the 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 bar on my right hand side. So I'm driving this way, the bar is on my right and the car is creeping out as I'm going forward, right? So I'm thinking the car is going to stop, look both ways before even trying to leave, and then I have the right of way because I'm on the main intersection. He's coming out of the bar, right? This guy does not look, so I'm looking at him creeping, but I'm like, you usually see people creeping at an intersection, they usually stop, right? Especially they know that you have the right of way. So he creeps out. I'm thinking he's gonna stop. No, he keeps coming and he rams into my car, hits my car, right? Damages my car, totals my car. That car at the time was a brand new um that was a brand new 2012 Honda Accord I just purchased. This is when my credit was good. I think I was paying like like $250 a month for it. My credit was excellent at that time. All right. I think I was paying like 3% interest rate on that car. And this happened like maybe 6 months into me having the car, something like that. Um, so the guy hits my car. Um, Immediately I have pain like in my neck. Right. I still have back problems from that daggone thing. I had a few car accidents and neither one that I've caused. Right? So this guy is drunk. Obviously, he's drunk. Hits my car. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is Tarnush in flesh. All right? The guy that hit my car is Tarnush in flesh. This is the son of Lucifer. This is Inky. All right? I tell you guys no lies. I'm being very, very honest with you right now. This is Tarnush. This is Inky. This is your Loki. All right? That hit my car in the flesh. So this was purposely done. I, after I recovered for a couple of seconds, um, the internal aspect of my car was like fumes. There was like smoke. The airbag had inflated. Luckily, I wasn't going that fast for me to hit my face on the airbag, but I immediately thought about my daughter. So I thought the car was on fire. It was smoking. I looked at her. She looked like she was okay. Luckily, I had her secure in her seat belt or in her car seat because, like I said, she was young at that time. Um, my first instinct was just to grab her. So I grabbed her and got out of the car, right? And I went to the side of the road. Um, my neck was in a lot of pain. I guess what you call like whiplash or whatever. My neck was in a lot of pain. Um, I called my wife at the time, let her know what happened. Um, a lady in the Air Force, because we was joint. It was a joint base. It was Air Force and Army at Bragg. So people were leaving. People were leaving, getting off of work, and they were exiting the base. She's like, I seen the accident. Here's my phone number. I seen everything that happened. At the time, this is my first time ever getting into a car accident, so I don't know nothing about car accidents and nothing like that. Right? I should have gotten a lawyer. I should have kept that girl's number. I don't know what I did with it. Lost it. So I had no idea. Right? People were saying to me, "Hey, can you move your car out of the way?" After a while, and I did so. Um, this guy that hit my car, he's obviously drunk, Tarnush, but he's acting. He goes back into the bar, back and forth to I guess to drink water or to sober up because I think I had called the police or they said the police was on their way. Now keep in mind, the police from the base did not come out. The only people that came out was a fire. It was an EMS vehicle came, and they asked me if I wanted to go in if I needed services. I said no. I was kind of upset because I like, this guy's drunk. He hit my car. My daughter was in the car. Luckily, nothing happened to my daughter. My daughter looked like she was fine. I asked her if she was okay. She said she was okay. So I told EMS I didn't need any services from them. I was just waiting on the police to fill out a report because I wanted to make sure this was resolved. All right. So I'm thinking that the Fayetteville Police Department was going to come out. I was told that a sheriff was going to come out. This guy did not come to the scene until like about 5, 6, maybe 7 hours later after this accident happened. When the sheriff got there, this is a true story. I tell you no lies. This is a true story. When the sheriff got there, he never even came out of his car. He gave me a piece of paper to write down what happened. And the guy was unprofessional. It was nonchalant. He didn't seem like he cared. But that's when I realized that that whole situation, I was being set up. That was Tarnush. That controls the system, that manipulates the system. That was the devil's son. He hit my car. He was drunk. He was in the wrong. He should have been going to jail immediately. The sheriff never came out of the car. The guy that was drunk, he went home. His daughter came on the scene and she apologized to me. His daughter came on the scene, quote unquote, his daughter came on the scene and apologized to me. She was like, I'm sorry. And apparently, I guess Tarnush has children. Tarnush, Loki, Inky, whatever you want, Anunnaki, whatever you sick, sick people. But it was at that point I realized that the system is not for human beings. The system was not meant to help man. This system was to help the Anunnakis, the Nephilim, the fallen angels, to do what they do. You guys just seen a big political, not political, but a big trial going with a quote unquote entertainment guy. Um, 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 take that, won't stop, won't stop. All right, and it seems